Right, this is a video for a Honda CR-V. This is a 2.2 i-DTEC diesel, L90SCT with 62,000 miles on the clock. Cars finishing this absolutely fantastic white, hugely sought after cars in this colour, they really are. Worth pointing out that I did this video after the video that comes after this, bizarrely enough. It's just where the editing works. But what I did notice when I did the road test of the vehicle, and you'll hear it afterwards, is that I noticed that the front brakes, the brake pedal was a little bit long, and it was due for an MOT, but also that the tyres were low on the front. So just to show you, on the front here we've got brand new tyres on there, and fitted behind there, hard to see, we've got brand new discs and pads fitted to the vehicle as well. So alloy on there, lovely and clean, hardly a mark on them. Front offside wing in very good condition, again no marks I can see of any note on there. Chrome side steps, or side bars fitted rather, so they're more kind of an appearance more than anything else. Wing mirror housing all good, and all the panel work down the sides in very nice order. So just going to crouch down there just to show you. I can't see any dings or dents at all on this side of the car. Really crisp car. Tyres in the back got loads of tread on them. Alloy again in really fine order. Around the back of the car, and they're very good looking vehicles. I'd say this colour really does suit it because they've got these little sidebars and the black panoramic roof look absolutely fabulous on the vehicle. Coming to the near side of the car again, really crisp down the side again. I can't see any car parking dinks, dents or otherwise on there, and again the panel works in really nice order. Dunlop tyre on the back here has got loads and loads of tread on it. Rear wing, no marks, scratches or otherwise, and alloys absolutely super condition. And there's obviously going to be if you look, get a magnifying glass out, you're going to see the odd minor little mark on there, but they are very few and far between. Wing mirror housing and repeater again, completely unmarked. Final alloy again, can't see a mark on there, and again as with the other one, matching brand new tyre fitted to the vehicle there. So externally it's in very nice condition. And coming to the back of the car now, obviously huge boot on the CR-V. And this one here just shows you, we've got obviously tonneau covers here, all still there. You've got this centre shelf, which I must admit, I can't abide them being there, but they get in the way. They will actually go down underneath this. This one's been fitted with this little boot cover, plastic boot cover. They'll slot in that shape underneath here. So if you want to just put it out of the way. But really nice condition back here. Obviously the little cover there sort of protects the carpets underneath, but it's all been kept in very nice order. Coming to the back of the car now, near side rear door card all in good condition. Back of the front passenger seat, again no kick marks on there from kids bashing the back, and again likewise the plastics down there, very nice order. Back of the driver's seat, again equally good, and door card on the near side in lovely condition there. Huge amounts of leg room in these cars, leatherworks in really nice order. Worth pointing out that the sun's really glaring so it's not helping, but it is very nice back here. There is a bar under these seats, which means you can extend the rear boot area just by sliding the seats backwards and forwards on rails, so you end up with an absolutely cavernous boot area. Coming to the front of the car now, front door card here. There's a few little marks on the plastics here, just sort of ring marks on there. That's probably the worst of the interior, if you like, in terms of any marks you might see. Sill area is all really nice. Obviously electric seats adjusters on these, all worked absolutely perfectly as you'd expect. Driver's seat, absolutely super condition, there's no wear on there at all that I can see of any note. Coming across front passenger seat, again equally top condition, there's no marks on there. As part of the EX package you get this lovely big glass panoramic roof, which has obviously got this electric blind which you can open and shut just like that. Right, so sat in the car now. I apologise, it's a sunny day, which is nice to see, but it does put a bit of a glare inside on the car. But generally inside the car, in very nice order. Obviously these later versions got better quality plastics. Also up in these top cubby holes here, you've got this USB lead there, so you can play music through to the stereo from iTunes or otherwise, and obviously it charges the phone at the same time. Up here, lovely crystal clear sat nav system, all working perfectly. I pop that into reverse just to show you. Lovely crystal clear parking camera on there as well. Pop that open, and behind it we've got access then to the CD player as well. But all works absolutely perfectly. Likewise, dual zone climate control, pumping out absolutely ice cold air. It's 22 degrees and quite muggy today, and that's, as I said, is as cold as anything. 6-speed gear lever and gator, all in very, very nice order. Coming down to the centre parts of the car here, so I'll just get the wire out of the way. Obviously heated seats as part of the leather package on the EXs, and they all work absolutely as they should. So cup holders there. Inside this centre storage area, if I pull it backwards that way there, whether you can see there, oops, daisy, you've got your power outlet and auxiliary ports as well inside. Coming back over, go to the dashboard here, you can just see there 62,971 miles recorded. There's no warning lights on the vehicle, obviously with the engine running there, just the low fuel, which obviously is what the information display system's up there for. Obviously auto lights and auto wipers on these EX models, and also multifunction steering wheel with radio controls top left, cruise control top right, information display down on the bottom right there, and voice activation controls down on the bottom left. Coming across here, behind here we've got controls for the vehicle stability assist, and also wing mirrors, just to show you electric folding ones. Just want to show you them working exactly as they should, which they clearly do. But overall, the car's in very, very nice condition. You know, it is a used car, so it's got the odd minor blemish on it. But following this video should be a road test of the vehicle as well. Right, there's a video for a Honda CR-V. This is a 2.2 EX diesel, the later i-DTEC version of the car. Car's registered currently on a private plate L90SCT. This is a 2010 registered vehicle, so one of the revised models, the later versions. Mileage at the start of this brief road test is 62,946 miles. The reason we do the road tests, as I say in all the videos, is basically we're selling now to customers from all over the near continent and the extremes of the UK, and we feel it's right if people are going to come see our cars that they get to see the vehicles in operation before they come to see us, and I can give you some feedback on the car and kind of give you my opinion on how it drives based on obviously the experience of these vehicles. Worth pointing out that the roads I'm doing the road test on is exactly the same, or are exactly the same roads as any prospective buyer will be driving the car on as well, so it should be completely representative of, you know, what you should feel when you come and see the car. So going through the car in order, a good place to start is obviously always with the engine. It's a fabulous engine, they really are. This particular example starts, as you'd expect, absolutely on the button. Very, very sweet revving, really lovely unit actually. It just feels really fresh. No warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or anything else, but it's got loads of oomph. It's, you know, fully loosened up at 60,000 miles. It takes Honda engines quite a while to loosen up, but it really is a fabulous example. Idle there, rock steady at just over 800 RPM. No fluttering, no change in engine note when the clutch is in or out, and but a very, very sweet unit. The earlier versions used the CTDI engine, which is again a very, very, very good engine, but what they had was a lot of kind of pulley noises at low RPM, so it could sound a little bit whiny, whereas this has that's gone completely. It's just a wonderfully, wonderfully smooth engine. Engine runs through to clutch and gearbox. Clutch on the car, obviously on the i-DTECs, is a revised clutch, so far heavier duty than the earlier models. We haven't had any issues with them at all actually. You know, even with big mileage ones. Clutch actuation very smooth. Clutch pedal goes in and out with, you know, again very, very smoothly indeed. As I said, I'm sat here now, just going to put the clutch in and out, and so there's no change in engine note at all on there. but it's, you know, it's you know, what I love about the Honda stuff is, of course, it's got that kind of lovely sort of engineered feel to it as well. Clutch then goes through to this 6-speed manual gearbox, and nice high up mounting for the gear lever itself. What's lovely about the gear change, as with all Honda gearboxes really, is just how beautifully engineered they are. This one's a perfect example of one. Lovely short throw on the changes. Synchro mesh is absolutely perfect. The quality of gear change is absolutely fantastic on the car. Beautifully engineered. We've never touched a gearbox on a Honda, on one of these CR-Vs. They're incredibly tough. But you know, as an example of one, there's just nowhere in the linkage. Changes gear exactly as it should. But it's a joy to use. That's, you know, it's not always the case. You know, a lot of, you know, most cars now with the front wheel drive use cables to take the to change gear to the gearbox itself, and of course that can mean you can end up with kind of a slightly vague feeling gear change. But the Honda do a fantastic job of ensuring that it still gives you a lovely mechanical feel, almost as if it's just direct into a box, which it clearly isn't. But I cannot fault engine, gearbox and clutch, absolutely spot on. Driving along, car tracked bullet straight. Steering, absolutely no hint of wear in it. Perfect, can't fault it. It's a lovely power steering setup anyway. It's still kind of the conventional hydraulic power steering system on the car, which I absolutely love, and that gives you real weight, real feel, but it's a very accurate setup. When I'm driving the car, as I'm doing now, I'm trying to feel for things where you might have a little bit of wear in the steering, like sort of track rod end or ball joints or other issues, and there's nothing. It's just as tight as a drum. Likewise, the suspension of the car, very smooth riding cars. Again, I'm listening out for sort of noises. You know, I can hear it going over bumps, which is quite normal, but what I'm looking out for is you know, kind of those little aftershocks, the little rattles you get underneath cars occasionally, which suggests there's a bit of wear under the car. That, normally speaking, would be things like anti-roll bars kind of chattering away, because they were designed in weak points on cars, and you know, sort of suspension mounts and struts and things like that. But it's absolutely, it's wonderfully tight. You know, it's a, you know, it really is just. It comes as no surprise. I mean, they're beautifully made cars. They really are. As I'm going along, again, just, you know, because the whole point of these road tests isn't just to give you kind of a glowing endorsement of the car. It's also, if I do pick up on any issues, I can let you know about them straight away, to let you know what, you know, if we're going to do anything on the vehicle. A quick look around the vehicle. I'd already seen the car, so I knew what to expect. With the 2 tyres in the front are low, so we're going to have brand new ones fitted this afternoon on the car. Rear's very good. It's going to go for an MOT later today as well, so I'll have a brand new MOT on the vehicle, and that's independently done of us. We don't do our own MOTs for fairly obvious reasons, which I won't say. The other thing I've noticed is that the brakes are very good on the car. It stops perfectly. Pedals slightly long, and again, just a cursory look at the front brake discs and pads. So it's made me feel that they're due to be changed. They're not unsafe, far from it. They probably would pass an MOT, but I've got my mechanic to order some new discs and pads for the front of the car, so they'll be done as well. But the car drives absolutely fantastically. It's really very tight drive. Obviously the video doesn't show the colour, but white on these is an absolute premium on the car. They really are very sought after, because it's not just the fact that it's white. It's, you know, some cars can look a bit blobby, just, you know, sort of too much. But what's nice about these, you've got the big glass panoramic roof, really kind of offsets it, so you've got to sort of break up in the colour, and it suits the car absolutely brilliantly. Looking inside the car also, this is obviously the revised model, so they upgraded the interior slightly on the car. Little things like inside this little hatch here, there's a USB lead in there, so you can put your phone, attach it to it, and play your iTunes songs or whatever through the radio of the car. Love the EX models. You've got this big dominating sat-nav system, which you can see nice and clearly, all works absolutely perfectly. Press a button there, and then that gives you access to the CD player behind it as well. Again, all works absolutely spot on. Coming down just below that, we've got the air conditioning system, which is dual zone climate control. So you've got, you know, whatever temperature, if you get up in the morning and it's a bit chilly, it'll put the heater on, but during the day it'll activate the air conditioning to maintain a constant temperature, which is lovely. And this obviously does a side-to-side thing as well, so you can have different temperatures. I don't know how that works. That, you know, it always seems like a bit of a gimmick to me, unless there's a force field here. But there we are. Air conditioning is pumping out absolutely ice cold air. It's nearly 20 degrees outside, quite muggy, and that is beautifully refrigerated there. But all the switch gear, fabulous condition, really lovely condition. You know, so all these switches work absolutely beautifully. There's a real precision to the way Honda do these things, and they're designed to last a long time. I mean, you compare switches like this, electric window switches, to a lot of kind of VW product and Audi and BMW, and you see how easily the switches rub their paint off, and they can look very shoddy indeed. But so the Honda do make these things very well. Coming across the main instrument binnacle, classic Honda affair, dead simple, easy to read, big symmetrical dominating sort of rev counter and speedo on the car. Information display system, everything works absolutely perfectly. There's, you know, there's nothing that doesn't work on there. Temperature gauge, bang on a third of the way, which is exactly where any Honda needs to be on its temperature gauge, so that's absolutely spot on. You do have a little rev light on this, little prompt light on the car, so it just tells you, you know, reminds you to change up. It encourages, you know, economical driving, because you know, you could easily, if you drive it like a petrol car, you know, get low to mid 30s out of the car, miles per gallon. But you know, if you drive it as you should a diesel, change up nice and early, let the torque of the engine do all the work, 'cause that's what the whole point of it is. And you know, 43 is an absolute doddle to get. You know, I've had loads of them, and that's been the minimum I've ever got out of the car. But it's driving style which will dictate that. But the fascia is in very good condition there as well. Then we've got this big lovely condition again, steering wheel with multifunction, so you've got audio top left, cruise control top right, information display on the bottom right here, and then your voice activation controls on the bottom left there as well. Auto lights, auto wipers. In fact, I'm just going to check the wipers, because a pet hate of mine is smeary wipers, but no, actually they're very good, so there's nothing wrong with those. So they all work fine. Obviously then, you know, the rest of the cars, you know, it's obviously a used car, so there's going to be the odd sort of little mark inside the vehicle. We've not valeted it or touched it yet. It's literally just arrived, but it'll be given a sort of full clean and valet and preparation prior to going onto the forecourt, on top of the mechanical work that we do. But certainly in terms of the drive of the car, you know, I genuinely can't fault it, apart from, as I said, you know, the tyres on the front and the brake discs, which, you know, will sharpen up the brakes. But you know, in every other respect, you know, the car's absolutely perfect to drive. So they cannot fault it at all. You know, we generally, with CRV, people that come to look at them, we're going to be cross-shopping them against you know, the obvious candidates, and that'll be, you know, RAV4, X-Trail, Land Rover Freelander, BMW X3 and Volkswagen, whatever else. The reality is, Honda have got a real niche now. Most people who have had the BMW, the Volkswagen, German stuff, know how problematic they can be. They're very nice to own for a couple of years, but they do have lots of problems, which is why we just won't sell them anymore. X3 is horrendously uncomfortable on anything other than a billiard smooth surface. X-Trail's a very nice drive, actually. Drive very similar to the CRV. You've got a lovely fluid chassis, the same as the CRV's got, but they have too many problems mechanically compared to the CRV. And the RAV4 is probably the only one that's even close in terms of reliability and real-world build quality. But unfortunately, they're just a bit bland by comparison, and they're not as capacious inside. And again, Honda's intelligent four-wheel drive is light years ahead of their four-wheel drive system. So, you know, there's say Honda really have wrapped up this market, especially the used market. You know, there's not the fears buying the Honda that you get out of the other product. But anyway, that kind of concludes the video. If there's anything I've missed out on the video, please don't hesitate, do give us a call, and we'd be more than happy to give you any answers you might need. But based on what I've driven, you'll be delighted with the car.